Tuesday, February 18th, 2025, Maneko 64, home of alternative economics and contrarian views. Well, today we're going to look at the Trump administration and in particular rare earth metals. I think President Trump has sparked rare earths rush. Yes. So the world has been changing rapidly as we approach, of course, the first month of President Trump's administration. And aside from the tariff wars, we're seeing a rush to get America exploring and extracting its natural resources again after decades of neglect and dependence on other countries. And in the case of rare earth metals, in particular, China. Before we move on and look at rare earths, I just wanted to let you know that further along this video, we're going to look at an interesting opportunity. It's a company that wants to become a first mover in tungsten mining in the US, on US soil under the Trump era. Yes, believe it or not, there are no producing mines of this very critical rare earth metal on US soil. It is 100% imported. It could be a very interesting opportunity. But before we look at it, let's look at the first day that Trump was in office, January 20th, and he's been signing a lot of executive orders. And we're going to look at an executive order here that is very important or pertinent in terms of the topic of this video. So here we are. Unleashing American Energy, Executive Order, January 20th, 2025. So Section 1 of this executive order says, background, America is blessed with an abundance of energy, natural resources that have historically powered our nation's economic prosperity. In recent years, burdensome and ideologically motivated regulations have impeded the development of these resources, limited the generation of reliable and affordable electricity, reduced job creation, and inflicted high energy costs upon our citizens. These high energy costs have devastated American consumers by driving up the costs of transportation, heating, utilities, farming, and manufacturing, while weakening our national security. As most of you know, I'm here in the UK, and I wish our government were adopting such a policy. But unfortunately, we're still stuck in this climate change agenda, or religion, if you want to call it. So I'll continue here. It is thus in the national interest to unleash America's affordable and reliable energy and natural resources. This will restore American prosperity, including for those men and women who have been forgotten by our economy in recent years. It will also rebuild our nation's economic and military security, which will deliver peace through strength. So, Section 2, policy. It is the policy of the United States. And I'll skip to B. It says, to establish our position as the leading producer and processor of non-fuel minerals, including rare earth minerals, which will create jobs and prosperity at home, strengthen supply chains in the United States and its allies, and reduce the global influence of malign and adversarial states. So there you go. It's very clear. It's policy. It's the policy of the United States to bring back rare earth exploration, and production. So I also think this move to becoming less dependent on other countries for critical natural resources is part of a renaissance for hard assets and an increased importance for them relative to financial assets, debt, and financialization. I think the world is slowly starting to realize that we cannot just all be consumers, but that we also need to be producers. We can't depend on other countries just to buy everything and finance it all. We are at this junction in terms of massive national debt, private debt, corporate debt because of that. So let's look a little deeper into tungsten. And by the way, tungsten, the word's origin is from Sweden or Swedish. It means hard stone. Anyway, China produces almost 70% of all rare earths on the planet. In the case of tungsten, China accounts for 80% of global production. China, aside from producing a load of tungsten, has the largest reserves of tungsten on the planet. And I don't know about you, but I find it amazing that the US government has allowed itself up until now to be this ignorant of the risks and dangers to its national security. And the same thing goes for the UK, of course. This, in my opinion, has been gross incompetence at best, or at worst, it's been by design. So the US imports 27% of this metal supply from its number one economic rival, yes, from China. And tungsten's unique characteristics make it indispensable in modern industrial, technological, and defense applications. Tungsten is a core material in armor-piercing shells and bullets. Its density and hardness allow it to penetrate tank armor and reinforce structures effectively. And tungsten is also used in some advanced composite armors for military vehicles due to its ability to absorb and dissipate kinetic energy. So for decades, globalization has blinded politicians, not just in the US, but all over the West. And the Chinese have taken that opportunity to become the dominant force in rare earth mineral mining and production. And in my opinion, there hasn't been a better time to hold American-based tungsten stocks. So here we come to the company that I mentioned earlier. It's American Tungsten, and it could become the first tungsten producer on U.S. soil after decades of no mining. Yes, no mining for decades in the U.S. Whatsoever. And they are the sponsor of this video today, and I'd like to thank them for choosing my channel. And I believe you must research it as soon as you can. So, to the basics. Well, the ticker symbol in the US is DEMRF. In Canada, it's TUNG. So, over decades, China has strategically invested in mining, refining, and exporting rare earth metals while undercutting competitors with lower costs, forcing many operations to shut down. So that's the reason why there hasn't been big time mining, exploration, and production of rare earths in the United States and the West, for that matter. So right now the US has only one one operational rare earth mine, and that is in Mountain Pass, California. And listen to this, it relies on China for refining the ore into usable materials. I think this is just another glaring weakness in the supply chain. And unfortunately, it doesn't mine tungsten. So why is tungsten so critical? Well, for example, in a geopolitical crisis, China could weaponize this dominance. A sudden disruption would cripple U.S. industries, including defense contractors dependent on rare earth elements or minerals for missile systems, jet engines, and advanced electronics. So this rare earth dependency risks becoming a national security crisis of unparalleled magnitude. There are no tungsten producing mines on U.S. soil, yes. And American Tungsten, though, is advancing a significant North American past producing mine in the region with minimal environmental and regulatory barriers compared to overseas competitors. And this flagship property of American Tungsten is called the IMA mine, and it is in the state of Idaho. Well, it used to be the fifth largest tungsten producing mine in the U.S. And with the current market cap of $19 million and the historical high-grade IMA mine and drilling results, it makes it a compelling opportunity when compared to other developers who are racing to be first movers into producing tungsten, of course, on U.S. soil. And what's more important, the U.S. Department of Energy and the U.S. Department of Defense classified tungsten as a critical material and recognizes its importance to national security, clean energy, and high-tech industries. So a little bit about tungsten. Well, tungsten has the highest melting point of any metal on the planet, 3,422 degrees Celsius. And it's extremely dense and hard. These characteristics make it indispensable for applications that require high heat resistance, durability, and strength. So as I said earlier, right now the market cap is only around 19 million US dollars. And as far as I know, there are no other companies in the US which have a realistic path to start production while American Tungsten can. Just think about the potential. 0 operational mines on US soil, and China has already made export restrictions and bans recently. So let's look at the finances of the company. Well, the company will soon begin discussions to secure key strategic partnerships and non-dilutive financing with the U.S. Department of Defense and the U.S. Department of Energy. And just to give you an idea, peer companies are trading at market caps exceeding $25 million. I think American Tungsten is just getting started on its journey. And I'd like to emphasize that this is a speculative, of course, opportunity. But as I always tell you, this report here is for informational purposes, and it's to make you aware of the opportunity if you decide to invest in American Tungsten. I suggest you do your homework on American Tungsten and you conduct your own due diligence. So there you go. With that, I'm going to wish you all a very good day. Take care. Bye.